voltage and current sources. Here voltage source are two types. Voltage source are two types. What is that? Practical voltage source and ideal voltage source. Next, current source. Current source also two types. One is the practical current source and second one is the ideal current source. First, coming to the ideal voltage source. Ideal voltage source. What is the ideal voltage source? It is an active device. Ideal voltage source is an active device. It is also called constant voltage source. The ideal voltage source is an active device. The ideal voltage source also called constant current voltage source. The terminal voltage always equal to its open circuit voltage. Even though it is in open circuit voltage, the current supplied by it to the load connected its terminal may vary. It may be changes. This corresponds to the zero internal impedance. If you use here resistance, this corresponds to the zero internal resistance. For the ideal voltage source, the internal resistance becomes zero. If this is the ideal voltage source. Next, coming to the practical voltage source. Practical voltage source. A practical voltage source also consists of ideal voltage source. Practical voltage source consists of ideal voltage source in series with an impedance. What is the practical voltage source? A practical voltage source consists of ideal voltage source in series with an resistance. In this, which consists of internal impedance, that is in series with the ideal voltage source, that we call it as a practical voltage source. Here, this series impedance we call it as internal impedance of the source. Internal impedance of the source. Here, the terminal voltage does not remains constant. In the practical voltage source, the terminal voltage does not remains constant, but it decreases slowly. The terminal voltage does not remains constant, but the voltage decreases slowly with the load current. At once observe the graph. The load current taken on the x-axis, voltage taken on the y-axis. For the ideal source, it is a constant. It is the ideal source. Ideal voltage source. Coming to the practical voltage source, it decreases slowly with the load current. Gradually it decreases with the load current. This is known as the practical voltage source. This is the VI characteristic or VI curve of voltage source. If you consider a circuit with the voltage source Vs, it is the AC source. The internal impedance or the impedance with source, internal impedance of source, I am considering here ZS. This is in series in series with the load resistance ZL. This is the simple circuit we consider. Here A, this is the point B. AB point. The current is passed in this circuit considered as a IL. It is the simple circuit. Voltage source Vs is applied to the circuit. Zs in series with the ZL. IL is the current passed through this circuit. If Vs be the open circuit, if Vs be the open circuit voltage and Zs be its internal resistance or internal impedance, the current in the circuit when connected to the ZL, here IL is given as, when Vs, if Vs is open circuit voltage, Zs is the internal impedance and ZL is the load impedance, IL be the current passed through this circuit. Then IL is given by, we know Ohm's law. What is the Ohm's law? V is equals to IR. I is equals to V by R. Here what is the I? IL is equals to, the voltage of this circuit is Vs divided by the resistance of this, resultant resistance of this circuit. The impedances Zs and ZL. Zs and ZL are in series. So we get resultant impedance is Zs plus ZL. So Vs by Zs plus ZL. This is the IL current passing through this circuit. Therefore, terminal voltage of the source, that is given by VL. That VL is equals to, again Ohm's law, V is equals to IR. From this, VL is equals to IL into ZL. That is equals to, what you get IL from equation 1, Vs by Zs plus ZL into ZL. Vs by Zs plus ZL into ZL from equation 1. This is the terminal voltage of the source. Here, the terminal voltage remains almost constant. If here divided by ZL, that is equals to ZL by ZL, that is equals to Vs by, get common ZL, Zs by ZL plus ZL by ZL. ZL get cancel. Then what you get? Vs by 1 plus Zs by ZL. So VL is equals to, what you get finally? Vs by 1 plus Zs divided by ZL. VL is equals to Vs by ZL plus ZL into ZL. Here this ZL can be divided by here Vs by Zs by ZL plus ZL by ZL. Both numerator and denominator divided by ZL. Both numerator and denominator. Then we get VL is equals to Vs by 1 plus Zs by ZL. If Zs by ZL much less than 1, the source acts as ideal source. Here for output terminals short circuited, that is ZL is equals to 0. When ZL is equals to 0, that means load impedance is equals to 0, the current reaches to infinity. Means the current reaches maximum for an ideal voltage source when Zs is equals to 0, which is practically impossible. So that's why there's an ideal voltage source is impossible in practice. When if Zs by ZL is much less than 1, the source acts nearly as ideal voltage source. This is the practical voltage source. Once again remember, the ideal voltage source also called constant current voltage source. It corresponds to the zero internal impedance. But in practical voltage source consists of ideal voltage source in series with an impedance. The impedance which is used in the series in a circuit, that is known as the internal impedance of the source. The terminal voltage does not remain constant but decreases slowly with the load current. This is the VI characteristics of the practical voltage source. Next, coming to the ideal current source. Ideal current source. Ideal current source is also an active device. It can supply constant current. The ideal current source is an active device. It can supply constant current even if its terminals are open circuited. Its internal impedance is infinity. Its internal impedance is infinite. It cannot exist in practice. The ideal current source cannot exist in practice. Thus, an ideal constant source is merely an idea. It cannot exist in practice. Next, a practical current source. Practical current source. A practical current source consists of ideal current source. A practical current source consists of ideal current source with parallel its internal impedance. A practical current source consists of an ideal current source in parallel with its internal impedance Zs. If a load ZL is connected across the terminals A and B, consider the circuit. Current source Is. It is in parallel with the internal impedance. Ideal current source in parallel with its internal impedance Zs and parallel with the ZL. Zs parallel with the ZL. Here, when the IS is passed through this circuit at the terminals A and B, at the terminals A and B, the current IS is divided into 2. Divided into 2. Here the current passed through the ZS and the current passed through the ZL. Here the current passed through the ZS considered as a IS. Current passed through the ZL considered as a IL. Considered as an IL. Here if a load ZL is connected across the terminals A and B, the source current is divided into 2 parts. One is IS and other one is IL. Now IS is equals to, then we get IS is equals to, the current IS is equals to IS plus IL. Because of the source current is divided into 2 parts, no? So IS is equals to IS plus IL. Small is plus IL. Small is small IL. So IS is equals to IS plus IL. Here IS ZS. IS ZS plus IL ZL. Here the IS passing through the ZS now. So IS ZS plus IL ZL. Here this is equals to IS ZS is equals to IL ZL. When IL is equals to the current passed through the ZL, IL is equals to IS by 1 plus ZL by ZS. IL is equals to IS by 1 plus ZL by ZS. It shows that the load current remains constant. Load current remains constant and is equals to the IS for ZL is equals to 0. For ZL is equals to 0. The load current remains constant and is equals to the IS. For ZL is equals to 0, the load current is nearly constant and source between as good current source. The increase of load, when the increase of load increases the terminal voltage, So V is equals to IR. V at terminals AB is equals to IL into ZL and thus decreases the load current. Coming to the conclusion, practically a current source is not different from a voltage source. Practically a current source is not different from voltage source. Remember this one important. Practically a current source is not different from the voltage source. The source can work either as voltage or a current source depending upon its working. Depending on the working condition, the source can be either treated as a voltage source or a current source. When for ZL greater than ZS, for load impedance is greater than the internal impedance, the source is represented as voltage source. The source is represented as voltage source with ZS in series. ZS in series. When ZL less than ZS, the source is current source. The source is treated as a current source. with ZS in parallel. With ZS in parallel. Thus, we see that a voltage source in series with an impedance can be replaced by the source, current source with ZS in parallel and vice versa. Voltage source with ZS in series for the current source with ZS in parallel. Finally, the voltage source has EMF. The voltage source has EMF is equals to current from current source times impedance of current source. That is nothing but a Vs is equals to Is into Zs. Impedance of current source is Zs. Current from current source Is. Voltage source as EMF should be treated as a Vs. Vs is equals to Is into Zs. Remember one thing, practically a current source is not different from voltage source. Based on the working condition only, it is defined as either voltage source or current source. For voltage source, the Zs must and should be in series, Zl greater than Zs. When for the current source with Zs in parallel, Zl is less than Zs. This is the ideal current source and practical current source. We observe the VI characteristics of current source. Voltage taken on x-axis, current taken on y-axis. The ideal current source is constant. It is the ideal source. Finally, in the practical current source, it decreases the load current. So that's why it decreases. This is the practical source. It is the VI characteristics of the current source.